that pay gap was eliminated completely? Because that's all the radical feminists. Okay, one of the reasons.
It would depend
so why
on
not get them
how
to
it was
so
done.
why
I've
fair
done
away
that how
many,
many
councils, and I do it all the time. And they say it's positive men.
So one of the things they do, one of the things they do is assertive.
You might say it accounts for maybe
I might say often you can
the pay gap is the
All right there, welcome to my channel. Let's talk about Jordan Peterson and Cathy Newman's interview. First of all, respect to Channel 4. I mean, you're watching my channel now, you're obviously familiar with YouTube, you're almost certainly familiar with Jordan Peterson. You know where this whole drama came from, you know the kind of things he talks about, you know a little bit about him. But in the UK on the whole, he's not known. So respect to Channel 4 for having him on. Also respect them for not tucking it away at like 4 AM on a Thursday. This was a decent slot. It's published on YouTube with likes, dislikes and comments enabled. There's 30,000 odd comments, so respect to them. We know that a lot of these institutions do not operate like that, and I would certainly suggest that a lot of them, if they had a similar absolutely humiliating car crash like interview that this was, it would have disappeared by now. So amazing that it's still there. Sam Harris described it as an almost terminal case of closed-mindedness. And it is incredible. I'm not going to look at clips. You've all seen it, or you can all go and see it. But it is something to behold. And what you have got here on the part of Cathy Newman is cognitive dissonance 101. What happens is she'll ask a question, Jordan will reply, usually backed up with evidence, statistics, a long experience as a clinical psychologist, all these different things that she could not, almost every time, she could not refute. She didn't have the ammunition, she could not defend her position, she could not refute his argument. Yet, she could also not believe it, because to believe it would have been to threaten her entire ideology, her feminist man-woman oppressor-oppressed narrative. She couldn't do that, so she accepted his arguments. She could not refute them, but chose not to believe them, and that is cognitive dissonance, and it shows again and again and again. What she does is continually attempt to re-summarize Jordan's summaries. He can't come at her with pages and pages and essays and essays. You can't do that in an interview situation. So what he does, what Jordan is known for, is be very specific about his choice of words. He summarizes his position clearly and coherently. But like I say, because she cannot refute that, which means she has to accept it, but because she chose not to believe it, the mental gymnastics is amazing. So time after time, what Newman does is go, okay, so what you're saying is, and then re-say what he said, but in a way that she could cope with, in a way that she could find problems with, essentially straw manning everything he said. And it happened time and time again. There's a video somewhere on YouTube where someone's made a compilation of how many times Cathy Newman says, okay, so what you're saying is, and then gives a different version of events. Constructs a straw man. I mean, this is basic. I don't want to get too involved in, it's a logical fallacy. But he says a point. She cannot refute it. She has to accept it. She chooses not to believe it. So therefore constructs a straw man to allow her to deal with it. And what's amazing about this, and this happens more than once, Jordan Peterson laughs at her, but it's not a laugh of anger. It's not a vicious laugh. It's not a laugh. He's not trying to humiliate her. It's the laughter you give to a child. It's a soothing. It's a kind of, come on, it's all right. It's all right. This happens. Imagine you've got a toddler, 2 or 3 year old, and you're trying to teach them to put a lid on a bottle. And so you say to them, you put the lid on and you twist it. Yeah, and then the baby, the toddler, picks it up and starts twisting the bottle. And you see, that's what you do. You sort of go, no, 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 no. It's like that. And that's how he does it. There's one bit where he goes, no, he goes, I'm not saying that. And it's just incredible. One of the things I learned from this interview is how good Jordan Peterson probably is with his grandkids, with his nephews and nieces. You know, it's just amazing this way, sort of like, come on, you know. It's really something to watch. I'll tell you who Cathy reminded me of, Ali G. You know, some of those early Ali G interviews is like, okay, what you're saying, is it because I is black? They're like, no, what? It's just something else. Now, this is why I chose not to do this straight away. I mean, I've been chomping at the bit to get into this. I wanted to see what the response would be. And there's been many. Douglas Murray wrote a great thing in The Spectator. It's worth a look. There's certainly a sense that the UK is hungry for this kind of thing. I can't remember who I saw talking about it, but they were talking about how it's been received, and I can't remember who it is, but he says, you know, we're hungry in the UK for political debate, and I don't think that's the case, because there's plenty of it. What we're actually hungry for is honesty. And I think that's what has been Jordan Peterson's success. He's so honest, incredibly honest. You know, his integrity is frequently intact and constantly maintained. It's just incredible. And to see that, and to see it against such a dominant, strong, incorrect narrative like feminism, the cultural Marxist oppression, men, women, to see that get attacked with that integrity, with that honesty, with that intelligence, with that wish to make the world better, with that clear and apparent agenda of wanting people to suffer less and create positively more, was just wonderful. That's what we're hungry for in the UK. That's what we're hungry for the world over. And that's what we got from that debate. Now, the inevitable has happened. The strangest inevitability, and I say that, which itself is somewhat of an oxymoron, like a contained paradox. Channel 4 have brought in a security expert to deal with harassment of Cathy Newman. Oh, those internet trolls, those alt-right supporters of Jordan Peterson. I mean, she kept throwing alt-right at him. It's like, oh, that you keep trying to distance yourself from. Yeah, because he doesn't share their politics at all. He's not alt-right. That's why he chooses to distance himself from people who he has no say over whether they watch him or support him or not, by the way. People have called her a bitch. Oh, welcome to the internet. But out of the thousands and thousands, like I say, there was about 35,000 last time I looked on YouTube. Most of them are people disagreeing with her, agreeing with Jordan Peterson, chucking in their tuppence worth, etc., etc. There's the very rare one where people say something like, you washed up bitch, you moany old feminist harridan, etc., etc. If you look at the percentage, I imagine it's almost next to nothing. Come on, Channel 4, this is ridiculous. Are you going to get the SAS in? It's a smoke screen. It's a smoke screen to cover something that I think is quite significant. This has been an important battle in the culture war, and it's not a small thing. This is freedom of speech. This is feminism. This is the oppressor. This is the patriarchy. This is toxic masculinity. These are the big ones. And she lost. And she was representing those things. Jordan Peterson was representing integrity, honesty, truth, and freedom of speech. And Cathy Newman was representing cultural Marxism, feminism, oppressor-oppressed dichotomies, and the mainstream media. This was a battle in the culture war, and the victory was clear and not Pyrrhic. So screw your professional harassment army that you're getting involved. That's a smokescreen. It may well go on, Someone might have threatened her with her life. I don't know. I haven't found it. You can go through it. I don't know what they're talking about, because all I see is smoke. All I see is distraction. Next thing will be mirrors. You lost Cathy Newman. And at the end of the interview, you know it. Question your beliefs. Actually question that. Because when you're forced to accept an argument that you cannot refute, choosing not to believe it is the definition of intellectual dishonesty. And if you, Cathy Newman, had the bottle to actually look at those beliefs you've been dragging around like sacks of house bricks for decades, letting them go and think, actually, I can believe something else, you might be a figure of inspiration for hundreds of thousands of ridiculous fools who continue to drag those bricks around because of people like you, who have to accept arguments you cannot refute and yet still choose not to believe them. That makes you a dogmatic ideologue and an idiot. Bit concerned the SWAT team might come through my door for daring to call someone an idiot. But she made it obvious. I just wanted to say a special thank you to a couple of people who donated money to this channel via the Super Chat facility on a live stream last night. The money was spent very unwisely on a lady of easy leisure, so who better to thank you than the lovely Shampoo? Take it away.
Okay.
Okay. What name? Wait.
Okay.
Sure, Dilek, Eric.
Right. Okay, not forgetting.
Thank you, Sure and Dilek.
Yeah, and there was
Sure and Dilek.
Eric. And the first one was?
Sure.
Last one?
Eric.
And Delane. Yeah.
Oh, red. No, stop.
Okay, hang on. We're rolling.
Thank you so much, Dylan.
There you go.